Smart water bottles like Hydrate Spark and Water H can remind you to drink more water and track how much you drink. But which smart water bottle is the best? I've been using the same Hydrate Spark water bottle for nearly 3 years, but I wanted to compare it against these two bottles to see if these are better and which one I'd recommend to you if you're thinking about getting a smart water bottle. You likely know that drinking enough water is important for losing weight and improving your health. When I lost more than 40 pounds, drinking more water was literally the first habit I started with. And my wife and I actually tested this out a few months ago, and she lost 4 pounds in 7 days just by increasing her water. But drinking more water can be tough when you're not yet in the habit of doing it. And smart water bottles like Hydrate Spark and Water H can help you with building that habit. Here's how these work. The Hydrate Spark and the Water H Vita have sensors on the bottom that weigh how much water is currently in your bottle. When you take a drink and place the bottle back down, it'll measure how much water you just drank. Then it syncs up to your phone via an app, and that tracks how much water you drink over the course of each day. Fancy. Because the sensors are on the bottom, they do tend to have a bit of a wobble, but I've never had one of these tip over on me. And they're incredibly durable. My wife drops her bottle all the time, and so far it hasn't given up on her, even despite all the physical abuse. The Water H Boost model actually does sit completely flat without wobbling because the sensor is in the lid rather than the bottom. Instead of weighing the amount of water you drink, it uses an algorithm to estimate your water based on the tilt angle. But this means if I hold the bottle up to my mouth like this, but I don't actually drink anything, it still registers it. This Boost bottle also won't fit in a car cup holder, which is a deal breaker to my wife. And because its accuracy rating is only 15%, I don't intend to use this bottle to track my water intake. So I'm not gonna mention it anymore in this video. But the Hydrate Spark and the Water H Vita are very accurate. You put 17 ounces of water in it, let it register, and when you take a drink, the amount shows up in the app and counts towards your daily goal. Both are made of medical grade steel and are insulated. So they keep your water cold, but the bottle itself won't sweat or feel cold in your hands. And they both have LED lights that remind you when to drink and when you're behind on your daily water goal. They also come with easy-to-use apps that can notify you when you need to take a drink. And if you ever forget to bring your bottle with you, you can manually add it in. They can integrate with Fitbit and Apple Health, and Hydrate Spark can also integrate with Garmin and HealthMate. Hydrate Spark also allows you to have a network of friends to compete with if they also have Hydrate Spark bottles. And with Hydrate Spark, you can choose from several different glow colors. Now, I've been testing the charge time on these devices, and they both seem to last somewhere between 10 to 14 days. I actually have a reminder in my phone every Wednesday night to clean and charge them, and they've always had more than 33% charge after a full week of use. While these two bottles are very similar, the batteries are one of the bigger differences. And in all honesty, neither of them are ideal. For Hydrate Spark, you have to remove the part that they call the puck and attach it using a proprietary cord. If you lose this cord, it'll cost you $7.99 to replace. And if the battery ever does get damaged or wears out, it costs $47.99 to replace it. With the Water H Vita, the battery and sensor are built into the bottle itself. To charge it, you place it on this fancy coaster, which costs $19.99 to replace. And if the sensor or battery gets damaged, you'll have to purchase an entirely new bottle. A new Water H Vita will cost you $49.99, and the Hydrate Spark retails at $64.99. Though they're almost always running sales, and I've actually got discount codes and links in the description of this video for both bottles if you're interested in getting one. But you might be thinking, those are expensive water bottles. Can't you just buy a $20 bottle that has time markers on it? Yup. You can. In fact, when I lost weight by drinking more water, I literally used a note card and tallied off every half liter that I drank. But honestly, any tracking method will help you with the habit of drinking more water. And these smart water bottles not only track how much you drink throughout the day, they also send you reminders via the glows and on your phone. And if you forget your bottle, you can still manually add it in using the app. The biggest difference between these two bottles is that the Water H Vita also has a sensor that measures the quality of your water by analyzing the total dissolved solids, or TDS. That's why I purchased this bottle. I thought it'd be cool to test water from different places, like when you're traveling and you want to make sure that the water's okay to drink. And I was excited to test this out. It said the quality of my filtered tap water was just good. So I decided to test it out with something that would ruin even the highest quality water, Athletic Greens. After shaking it up and rescanning, it came back with a TDS reading of excellent. That doesn't seem right. So next I mixed in some water with dirt, and it came back as good quality again. So my filtered water is the same as drinking mud, and powderized grass water is better than filtered water. That makes sense if you don't think about it. Needless to say, I don't think I'll be trusting the TDS sensor. I also don't really like that the straw lid is the only option for the Water H Vita. I don't personally like drinking from straws, and when I was testing out the TDS sensor, I noticed that it might leak a bit if you turn it upside down. The Hidrate Spark doesn't leak. And Hidrate Spark allows you to choose from several different lid types, as well as 4 different sizes. The Water H Vita only comes in the 17-ounce size. But lest we think there's nothing wrong with the Hidrate Spark bottle, let me tell you what I don't like about it after using it for 3 years. I don't like how it charges. I think the proprietary charger is kind of a scam. They could have just as easily made it a Type-C, and you have to charge it in a separate room because it's really obnoxious and it'll bring back nightmares of Stephen King's Tommyknockers. I also don't like cleaning the lid. It has some weird nooks and crannies that can collect mold if you don't stay up on it. And because you can't put the bottle in the dishwasher, you're gonna need a brush in order to clean it well. So here's my overall take. Do you need a smart water bottle? No. Of course not. If you're struggling to drink enough water, you could just set reminders in your phone. You could also get one of those $20 bottles I showed you. Or you could even do what I did and track it all by hand. But smart water bottles are also a good option, and they do make the habit of drinking water a little more fun by turning it into a game. And it's way easier to track when an app is doing it for you automatically. So if you're thinking about buying one of these 2 bottles, I'm pretty biased towards the Hidrate Spark. The Water H Vita works fine if you don't mind using a straw lid and the occasional leak, but given that I've used this literally every single day for the last 3 years and I haven't had a single issue with it, I'm not convinced that I need to switch. And I think I'll be giving these 2 bottles away to someone who might benefit from using them. Maybe to people who want to challenge themselves to do what Tracy did in this video.